Udoka lived in a small shack in a slum in Onitsha. One morning, as he watched his beautiful wife, Ezinne, braid their daughter Didi's hair. Didi was a ray of sunshine, but even her beautiful eyes couldn't hide the rumble in their stomach. Food was a daily battle. One day, Ezinne, Udoka would promise, "We'll have enough. More than enough." She'd just sigh, her eyes reflecting the endless struggle. As they sat at their wooden table eating the little they had. One sweltering afternoon, Udoka was walking along the road after the day's menial job. A sleek, black SUV pulled up beside him. The window hummed down, revealing a face he hadn't seen in years. "Udoka. My man." It was Emeka, but not the Emeka he remembered. This Emeka, now called Odogwu, a name whispered with respect and a touch of fear in every corner of Onitsha, was now a big shot and a short chat his car left. Few days later, Odogwu took Udoka to a fancy restaurant Udoka could only dream of entering. Plates, piled high with jollof rice and grilled fish, appeared as if by magic. Udoka ate until his stomach ached, a feeling he hadn't experienced in years. Odogwu leaned back, a knowing smile on his face. "I can show you how to fish, Udoka. How to get all of this and more. But it's not for the faint of heart." Udoka, remembering Didi's hungry eyes, felt a chill and asked, "What kind of fishing?" Odogwu's smile widened, but his eyes held a strange glint. "The kind that brings true wealth. I'll introduce you to my club. We help each other." Days turned into restless nights for Udoka. He saw Didi laughing making food at home, then Udoka imagined them crying from hunger, Ezinne's tired face, then pictured Ezinne, himself and Didi in fine clothes in their new home, eating very sumptuous meals and living the good life. The club nodded at him. Finally, desperation won. He met Odogwu again, his one of his beautiful mansions. Udoka's heart heavy. He asked when he could join the club and Odogwu told him to return in 3 days' time. The initiation was held deep in the night, in a secluded compound shrouded by ancient trees. The air was thick with incense and a primal fear Udoka had never known. The members of the club, their faces grim and unreadable, stood around the candlelight each, including Udoka. Then came the demand. A sacrifice. Not a goat, not a chicken. His only daughter, Didi. Udoka's blood ran cold. He couldn't. He absolutely couldn't. But Odogwu whispered in his ear, "Think of Ezinne, Udoka. Think of the life she could have. And think of the alternative." The hunger, the shame, the helplessness, it all rushed back. With shaking hands and tears streaming down his face, Udoka made a choice that would haunt him forever. Didi's spirit was called forth and pounded in a mortar. The next morning, Udoka woke up in his shack, a hollow ache in his chest. Didi was gone. Ezinne was distraught, she cried rolling on the ground. Udoka could only hold her, the lie a bitter taste in his mouth. But then, things began to change. From his small shack, he moved to a sprawling mansion in the most exclusive part of the town. As Udoka's fortunes exploded, they lived in complete absolute happiness, enjoying very sumptuous meals and the life they long hoped for. He bought Ezinne the finest clothes, shoes and sparkling jewelry. He opened businesses that flourished overnight. He became Chief Udoka, a name synonymous with power and prosperity, and felt complete. Ezinne was overjoyed, as Udoka gifted her the very best of gifts, comfort and luxury. But sometimes, a part of her heart remained broken for Didi, wishing she was with them to enjoy this great wealth with them. They had very peaceful nights together, Ezinne never questioned the source of their wealth, basking in the comfort and luxury. Udoka walks to the dinner and saw Didi eating. He was shocked at that moment. His spirit left his soul. Udoka woke up from sleep shocked and saw Ezinne sleeping. Udoka was suddenly distant from Ezinne even in their conversations. He rarely smiled, his eyes haunted. Ezinne started noticing Udoka waking up suddenly at night, most times shocked, and she became worried. She paid more attention to Udoka. One evening, during a lavish party at their mansion, Ezinne noticed something strange. A shadow, almost imperceptible, seemed to follow Udoka. She saw him jump at sudden noises, his one strong hand trembling, and was surprised but didn't know what the problem was with Udoka. The night Udoka saw Didi pursuing him with a peso and her mouth covered with blood, it was a nightmare, woke up screaming, calling out Didi's name. Ezinne was shocked. Ezinne, worried, confronted him. Udoka, what is happening? You're not yourself. But Udoka insisted he was okay, his face a mask of fear and anger. Nothing. I'm just tired. Ezinne soon became so worried about Udoka, thinking of what could actually be the problem. Udoka visited Odogwu looking so worried and scared, but Odogwu insisted he was going to be just fine. Odogwu promised to visit Udoka home and Ezinne served them champagne, though she was really comfortable with the atmosphere and how she now feels about Odogwu, but finally Ezinne reluctantly left. One night, Ezinne found Udoka in his study, a bottle of expensive whiskey clutched in his hand. He was staring at a framed photograph of Didi, tears silently streaming down his face. She's always with me, Ezinne, he mumbled, his voice hoarse. Always watching. Ezinne's heart pounded. Who, Udoka? Who is watching? Udoka turned to her, his eyes wide with terror. The club. They gave me everything, but they take everything back. They said I would pay. And now the payment is due. Just then, the lights in the mansion flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. A chilling wind swept through the open windows, rattling the expensive curtains. Udoka screamed, not in fear, but in pure, unadulterated agony. No. Not Ezinne. Take me. Take me instead. But the laughter grew louder, more sinister, encircling them both. The next day, Ezinne asked for the truth and Udoka couldn't hide it anymore. He narrated how it all happened and they both cried bitterly. Ezinne now understood the true source of Udoka's sudden wealth. It all began to coalesce into a terrifying picture. She remembered the day they lost Didi, the strange calm Udoka had despite her frantic grief. Ezinne, finally understanding the true cost of their wealth, felt a cold dread creep into her soul. She looked at Udoka, his face contorted in despair, and knew their nightmare had just begun. She invited a powerful man of God who came to pray for her husband Udoka. Udoka and Ezinne went back to their old home, living their lives from scratch again. Though they've lost so much, but they stayed in peace and harmony together, bearing in mind their mistakes and doing their best to be happy. A lesson Udoka learned the hard way.